through a crosswalk that's in pretty rough shape.
It's always bad in the spring with the freeze and thaw and the rain.
So much so the town has been analyzing proposals to rebuild crosswalks in town and will take on a whole new design, possibly similar to ones over by the Babson campus. For Robert, says it's about time.
And especially if they don't have a vehicle that can handle the ruts and so forth.
A win-win for both drivers and pedestrians.
You take the bad with the good.
And they could start work later this spring. In Wellesley, Jim McKay, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
And yet another delay for the Boeing Starliner. They scrubbed last night's planned launch of the first mission involving live astronauts on that Starship.
Veteran astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore were strapped in and ready to go when they got the message from Mission Control.
Yeah, Roger. So the engineering team has evaluated the vehicle is not in a configuration where we can proceed with flight today. We're going to initiate our scrub and recycle operation.
The issue was a faulty valve on the Atlas V rocket that was to carry Starliner into space. The next possible launch window comes Friday. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The FAA opens another investigation into Boeing. Inspections of its 787 Dreamliners were marked complete when they weren't, says CBS's Chris Van Cleave.
The FAA is once again investigating Boeing, this time for an issue on its 787 Dreamliner production line. Boeing self-reported to the FAA that it had learned that some company employees had failed to complete specific inspections on some 787 Dreamliners, but reported that check as having been completed. Essentially, it appears falsifying inspection records.
The FAA says Boeing is re-inspecting all of those 787 jets. Coming up, Motor City auto workers could take a walk, and we're going to take a walk in the sunshine with AccuWeather's Matt Benz.
Ever wonder what excellence in sound sounds like?
That's Wenzel McGowan, better known online as Traffic Cone Saxman.
It's that.
That makes it so he can hit the
Really low notes. Winner of the regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Sound.
What do you think? That's great.
WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
When you're upgrading your windows and doors, you want a company known for its quality, right? Adam Kaufman here. Renewal by Andersen is the full-service window replacement division of Andersen. All their windows and doors are custom-built for your home and installed by their certified master installers. And everything is covered by their fully transferable warranty. The windows, doors, and installation. See why Renewal by Andersen has the most 5-star reviews among leading national full-service window replacement companies. Now, during Renewal by Andersen's Memorial Day sales event, save 20% on all windows and doors and take $500 off your entire project when you purchase 4 or more. Plus, affordable payment plans are available. Call by May 31st. 1-866-RENEWAL. 1-866-RENEWAL. That's 1-866-RENEWAL. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for additional details.
Do you worry about today's economy? Are you concerned about your current investments and questioning your retirement plans? Listen to Family Financial Focus with the Welch brothers from 93 Financial Group every Saturday at 6 p.m. here on WBZ. Hosts Larry and Paul Welch discuss financial topics important to you and your family. You can reach 93 Financial Group at 800-908-9334. Or for more information, including their disclosure, visit 93fg.com. Family Financial Focus, Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WBZ News Radio 1030.
Life can be complicated. By protecting you, your family, and your assets, and always being there when you need us, Acacia Insurance, an independent insurance agency, is unwaveringly focused on making the unexpected uneventful. Online at acaciainsurance.com.
1223, traffic on the threes. Kevin is here. Matt Benz is waiting. The Subaru retailers of New England, all-wheel drive, traffic on the threes.
All right, Lori, got about a 2-mile backup here down in this Plymouth stretch of Route 3 southbound, locked up approaching the work crews here right at Herring Pond Road. And just after that, you're okay down to the Sagamore Bridge, 2495, no reported troubles here. Yeah, not a bad ride on that northbound expressway. Slight delays coming up past Columbia Road. Southbound a little busy down through Savin Hill. Stay a little sluggish down towards Neponset, and then more brake lights, Furnace Brook Parkway into the Braintree Split. Starro Drive westbound's tied up Kenmore Square all the way over onto Soldiers Field Road westbound, where you've got heavy exiting delays here to Cambridge Street and the ramps to the Mass Pike. Rest of downtown, really not too bad, including that lever connector. If you're heading up a Route 1 northbound, expect some pretty big delays here in Saugus, getting up through the Linfield Tunnel to the left lane. Work crews here at the jug handle lights. Just the right lanes are getting by. Looking pretty good over on Route 93 between Medford and Andover. Kevin Brennan, WBZ's Traffic on the Threes.
All right, pal, thank you. Erickson Foundation Solutions brings us this glorious day with our meteorologist, Matt Benz. I want to bottle this day. It's 75. That's the Goldilocks zone. Fair skies, no trouble at all until tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's a good preview. So soak it up while it lasts, Lori, because some big changes coming back our direction. And as soon as tomorrow and beyond, in fact, it could get really chilly here by the end of the week. But for today, plenty of sunshine. Looking at a high around 70 degrees near the water, upper 70s inland, 60s on the Cape and Islands. Can't argue with that at all here for today. Tonight, clouds will thicken up below near 50. Tomorrow, cloudy and turning cooler once again. And looking at periods of rain in the morning, perhaps some showers and thunderstorms around for the afternoon with a high around 60. Cool again for Thursday, cloudy, another round of rain arriving in the afternoon. So if you have to cut the grass, today is a day to do it. High again near 60 in the city on Thursday, 65 inland. Chillier into Friday, intermittent rain and drizzle, just a yuck forecast here by Friday with highs from 50 to 56 degrees and remaining cool as we head into this weekend. Back here with the meteorologist, Matt Benz, WBZ Boston News Radio.
It is 70 in Boston right now with sun.
Erickson Foundation Solutions is here to help homeowners strengthen their foundations and restore peace of mind. I'm Matt Erickson. We are all things basement-y, from waterproofing, foundation repairs, crawl spaces, and concrete repair. Details at ericksonfoundations.com.
All right, New England Business News. They are nearing the tipping point. Roughly 1,000 United Auto Union members who work at a Stellantis plant in Michigan have voted to strike.
The UAW says Stellantis' Warren stamping plant supplies parts for over a dozen facilities in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, and a strike could impact production of the Dodge Ram, Jeep Wrangler, and Jeep Wagoneer. Union workers say they have health and safety concerns, including ventilation fans, restrooms, and oil leaks. No word from the union on when a strike could happen. Stellantis says the talks are ongoing and the company remains committed to providing a safe and healthy work environment for all employees and resolving this matter without a work stoppage. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Where do we stand? U.S. News and World Report is out with their annual ranking of all 50 states.
Utah is the best state in the U.S., achieving top 20 results in 7 out of 8 categories. But Gary Ehrling with U.S. News says Wyoming has a strong rainy day fund among other assets.
They do really well in education. They do well in opportunity. They've invested in higher education, it looks like, from folks that we've talked to and from our data as well.
He says Hawaii leads the way in healthcare and natural environment, while Vermont is tops for opportunity. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Massachusetts ranks number 10 overall with the second best healthcare services nationwide and the third best schools. What do you think? Let us know. And we will go back to the Dedham Courthouse, Norfolk Superior Court, coming up for the latest on the Karen Reed trial. And President Biden is addressing nationwide anti-Semitism at the Holocaust Memorial Museum. Those stories and more in the news at 12:30.
I'm attorney Phil Amaru of the Commonwealth Advisory Group. Over the past 30 years, I've developed a trust that will protect you from the cost of a nursing home.
I'm Laureen Vaughn of the Commonwealth Advisory Group. I can't tell you how many times folks have come in and told us a friend has gotten really sick. There's a lot of things you can't control, but there's also a lot that you can. Time is on your side, and it's absolutely not too late to plan.
With our trust, your home will be protected. It's still yours. You stay in control, but after 5 years, everything is protected. We know we have to get this done, but we all tend to put it off. The law says that we have to wait 5 years in order to be protected from the nursing home and from losing our assets.
Hi, folks. It's Susan Warnick. Listen to me. Do not live in fear that you are going to lose your house and your money to a nursing home. Talk to the people at the Commonwealth Advisory Group. How do I know? Because they helped me. It's 1-800-705-1415. They can help you too.
Burton's Grill and Bar offers boldly crafted American classics with friendly bartenders pouring serious cocktails and a vibrant atmosphere to enjoy the best lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. Burton'sGrill.com.
Hey guys, Billy Costa here, reminding you that Cambridge Savings Bank is here to be a partner on your financial journey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Shen Yun is returning to PPAC for the 2024 season after inspiring over 1 million theatergoers around the world last year. Experience more than a performance. Witness a majestic culture reborn. Discover the splendor of China before communism. It's the ultimate Mother's Day gift. 2 shows only on Saturday, May 11th. This is your last chance to see Shen Yun for the 2024 season. Book your tickets today at shenyun.com.
It's brand new, Season 2. I'm Marissa Thalberg.
And I'm Stephen Wolf-Pereira, and we're excited to be back having bigger, bolder, and always real conversations.
Straight from the C-suite front lines of marketing, media, and more.
We have great friends joining from people you may know, like Wilmer Valderrama and Bobby Burke.
And people you'll want to know. So grab a coffee or, hey, even an Aperol Spritz and come join us on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart.
Open your free iHeart app today and search brand new.
WBZ News Radio, covering the news you need.
When you're sick, man's best friend often helps.
Animals are grade A at providing comfort during serious health episodes.
Now there's scientific proof.
For starters, dogs are good at dragging you off the couch and out for a walk. Same is true for cats.
Always keeping you in the know. WBZ, Boston's News Radio. This is WBZ News Radio, where Boston gets the news. An iHeart radio station.
Fair skies and mild. We're in the mid-70s out there right now at 12:30. Good afternoon. The news is brought to you this half hour by your New England Toyota dealer, your hybrid all-wheel drive headquarters. And another sidebar is now underway in the Karen Reed murder trial. The jury is expected to hear more testimony momentarily. The latest witness on the stand, Canton Police Sergeant Michael Lank. And in their cross, the defense tried to get to the bottom of what went on inside the home in Canton when police arrived the morning that Boston police officer John O'Keefe's body was found outside in the snow. We'll be joined at 12:45 by WBC's Emma Friedman with another live update. Speaking at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum, President Biden says there is no place in America for anti-Semitism. And the president's comments come as college campuses around the nation and right here in Boston are seeing massive protests against the war in Gaza. Now, these protests have been at times tarnished with anti-Semitism. And the president says fighting that hatred is a major priority.
My administration, with our second gentleman's leadership, has launched our nation's first national strategy to counter anti-Semitism. That's mobilizing the full force of the federal government to protect Jewish community.
But the president says fighting anti-Semitism is not a job for government alone.
That's why I'm calling on all Americans to stand united against anti-Semitism and hate in all its forms. My dear friend, and he became a friend, the late Elie Wiesel said, quote, "One person of integrity can make a difference." We have to remember that, now more than ever.
The president also reiterated his support for Israel, saying it is ironclad even when he disagrees with its government. And the president's speech also comes amid the backdrop of Israeli tanks rolling into the southern Gaza city of Rafah, something President Biden has opposed. The military action putting ceasefire talks on the edge of a knife. And CBS's Cami McCormick says Israelis are mixed on what should happen next.
Some Israelis believe pushing on with the offensive is the only way.
I don't trust Hamas at all. They are cheating us. They are lying to us.
Others think the hostages Hamas holds should be top priority.
I think the government should complete the deal in order to be able to get back the hostages. I understand that it's necessary to defeat Hamas, but I think that can wait.
More than 100 hostages are believed to remain in captivity.
Ceasefire negotiations do go on in Egypt despite yesterday's setback. Hamas agreed to a deal. Israel said no, it did not meet their core demands. Do not forget your ID. You're going to need it to get the most out of this record shop locally. Somerville will take you there next. Right now, where are you going? Are you driving out there? Let's find out where the problems are at 12:33 with Kevin and the Subaru Retailers of New England. All-wheel drive traffic on the 3s.
All right, well, out to the west here, we got some slowdowns. 190 northbound here in that Lancaster stretch. You're on the brakes approaching the work crews after Route 117. After that, looking good getting up past Route 2. Route 2's moving well both directions here between 495 and Route 190. Still got our slowdowns here on Route 1 northbound. It's a work crew taking out the left lane here at the jug handle lights in Peabody. Stay to the right to get around it. Traffic is back beyond the Linfield Tunnel and not quite back to Walnut Street here in Saugus. Downtown Boston, Leverett down ramp getting a little busy again. In fact, both directions looking pretty slow here on or next to the Zachem Bridge. Soldiers Field Road westbound's tied up here from the BU Bridge with exiting volume to Cambridge Street and the ramps to the Mass Pike. Now southbound expressways busy Columbia Road, and that looks like it stretches down towards Neponset. Northbound just a little slow at Columbia Road. This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm. At Morgan & Morgan, they recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. They took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan, visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Kevin Brennan, WBZ's Traffic on the 3s.
What a beautiful afternoon. Mostly sunny, high near 70 in Boston. We're just about there, a little bit shy of it. Upper 70s inland. We are there. We're seeing 75. Gorgeous. 60s on the Cape and the islands. There was one spot along the coast I was surprised it said high 50s, but I'm sure that's changed. It's warm and sunny everywhere. And then tonight, we begin with the clouds, and then tomorrow, cooler substantially with periods of rain and some showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. And this system is sticking around through Thursday and Friday as well. Certainly chillier, so grab it while you have it, that sunshine. And for the second year in a row, MassDOT is closing the Sumner Tunnel for repairs.
Once again, because of the location of the tunnel, it's going to be especially impactful for people going in and out of Logan and for the residents of East Boston.
Highway Administrator Jonathan Gulliver, the closure begins July 5th. It's going to last 1 month. Now, the original plan called for a 2-month closure, just like they did last summer with the Sumner. The state says shutting down the nearly 100-year-old tunnel is the fastest way to get critical repair work done, but of course is going to make it a lot more challenging for people traveling out of Logan Airport, and the Callahan and the Williams tunnels will remain open. There is quite a surprise inside of a local record store, and that's liquor. Liquor and records together in Somerville.
Inside Bow Market, Vinyl Index looks like a record store.
I have the first White Stripes record here. I've been playing that a lot today. I have the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, which is actually incredible.
And for the most part, that's what it is, until you turn left.
That people order here to have delivered to the shop from next door.
There's a bar there with seating and menus firmly ensconced between all the records. The store has struck up a partnership with the bar next door. Vinyl Index brings the vibes, and the bar runs the drinks over.
People are surprised when they see that there is a drink menu here, and it gets them to sit around and conversate and get a drink and just loosen up a little bit.
The way they're able to do this is actually pretty interesting. Most of the stores in Bow Market are under one custom liquor license, so drinks can flow more freely. On top of that, the bar is annexed the record store, legally making it part of itself. Kyle Schaffel, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
A wild chase in rural Maine. A man dressed in what looked like a white hospital robe gave police outside of Portland a run for their money. So the whole thing is just bizarre. The suspect was being taken to jail in a white robe when he managed to escape from the vehicle somehow. Handcuffed, he stole a police cruiser, they say, before crashing it, exchanging gunfire somehow, and stealing another police vehicle in a chaotic scene, as you can gather here. And a passerby caught the whole thing on video. And they caught the wily suspect, described as being unhoused. Okay, it is 12:38. TikTok versus the United States. Wow. David and Goliath, or Goliath and Goliath, I don't know. Andrew Day is here from Bloomberg.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how this one plays out, Lori. Today, TikTok and its Chinese owner ByteDance are suing the U.S. government over the new law forcing the sale of one of the world's most popular apps within a year or face a U.S. ban. The law was signed last month amid concern the Chinese government could use TikTok to spy on Americans and manipulate public opinion. But the suit argues the law violates the First Amendment and is based on vaguely expressed national security concerns. Wall Street's indexes are higher again today, although the gains are not as big as they were yesterday. Right now, the Dow up 40 points, NASDAQ gaining 30, S&P 500 right now rising 14. Still have more than twice as many stocks going up as going down right now. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Business on WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Coming up next, two sides in the Karen Reed murder trial weave conflicting accounts of the night that Boston police officer John O'Keefe died. We have another live update at 12:45.
WBZ News Radio helps you keep it together every day with traffic and weather together on the threes, so you always know what to wear and how to get there. WBZ News Radio.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Hey folks, Larry Elder here. You've probably been hearing me endorse Y-Refi for some time now, and yes, it's true. I invest my own money with them. What makes Y-Refi so different from other investments? Let's quickly break it down. Y-Refi offers a secured, collateralized portfolio with a strong fixed rate of return up to 10.25%. There is no attack on your principal if you ever need your money back, and you are in control. You can let your investment compound daily or take income, whatever you choose. There are absolutely no fees, and an investment in Y-Refi is an investment in America's future. Simply call 888-Y-REFI24. That's 888-Y-REFI24. And when you call, you will not get a sales pitch. Just the info you need to see if Y-Refi is a better investment option for you. Or log on to investyrefi.com. That's invest, the letter Y, then REFY.com, and make sure you tell them Larry Older sent you.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
I'm Max, owner of Mario's Quality Roofing, Siding, Windows, and Decks. Don't miss Mario's biggest spring sale ever. Want a bigger deck? Call about our deck specials. Call Mario's today at 781-344-2420 or go to mariosroofing.com.
Sports now on WBZ News Radio.
Lots of props coming Donovan Mitchell's way after the All-Star guard led Cleveland past Orlando and into the second round against the Celtics.
Donovan Mitchell reminds us how good he really is.
Dennis Scott on NBA TV, who gets a reminder from ESPN's Kendrick Perkins heading into tonight's series opener about who will shine above all when the Green tip it up with the Cavs.
It's Jason Tatum. Damn it, this round he needs to stand on business. This needs to be the Jason Tatum series, the warm-up before the conference finals and the NBA finals, meaning I'm expecting him to go out there and cook. And I believe that he can. There's no knock on Donovan. I'm looking at Tatum here to stand on business.
Chris Fama, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Boston traffic with Kevin Brennan at 12:43. What a beautiful day on the weather front. Not sure about your ride? The Subaru retailers of New England all-wheel drive traffic on the threes. Where are you taking us, pal?
Well, I got to say, we got a pretty decent ride in a lot of places. A couple places slowing it down a little bit. Route 3 southbound heading towards the Cape here. You got a work crew set up before Herring Pond Road, slowing you down just a bit. Not even a half-mile back up there. So watch out for those delays. You're looking pretty good over on 24 and 95. At northbound expressway, just a tap of the brakes or two by Columbia Road. Southbound's quite heavy. We may have some sort of work crew down by the Neponset off-ramp there. You got some slowdowns here from Columbia Road getting down towards Neponset. More brake lights here at Furnace Brook Parkway into the Braintree split. Mass Pike free and clear both directions between Boston and Sturbridge. Still watching slowdowns here. In fact, they've actually eased out here. Soldiers Field Road exiting here to Cambridge Street over on that Alston side. It's moving a lot better. We got slowdowns up to the north, though. Route 1 northbound continues to be a tough go out of Saugus, getting up through the Linfield Tunnel to the left lane work crews at the Jug Handle Lights. This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, cool off with their new Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Try new Picnic Peach Cobbler or snag the perfect peach treat or beach treat like their new Peanut Butter Cookie Dough Party. The new Summer Blizzard Treat menu is one you won't want to miss. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy, tastes good. Kevin Brennan, WBZ's Traffic on the Threes.
I want to go to the peanut butter cookie party.
That sounds delicious.
Right now. So we're thinking about summer because it feels like it out there. Mid-70s right now with beautiful sunshine. This is going to change, and we've got rain tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, the rest of the week, heading into Mother's Day weekend. Don't forget that. AccuWeather coming up next with Matt Benz at 12:54. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, and right now in Boston, we're at 67 degrees at Logan Airport.
Live, local, and fiercely independent. This is WBZ News Radio.
Here are the 5 things you need to know at 12:45. Karen Reed's defense tries to prove that officers fumbled the John O'Keefe death investigation, and we'll have more in a live report in just a moment. Stormy Daniels is still on the stand in former President Trump's hush money trial, a star witness. In a speech at the Holocaust Memorial Museum a little while ago, President Biden reiterated there is no place in America for anti-Semitism. TikTok goes to court suing the government over a law forcing its Chinese owners to sell the app or face a ban in U.S. app stores in 9 months. All right, let's go back to the Norfolk Superior Courthouse in Dedham, where jurors are also back, Emma, from a very short break. I always say a jury has to eat. WBC's Emma Friedman is here with what's been happening so far, Emma.
Good afternoon, Lori. Canton Police Sergeant Michael Lang is back on the stand, but before the quick break, Sergeant Lang was being questioned about the red Solo cups police used to gather evidence on the scene the night that John O'Keefe was found. Him and other officers have testified that because of the weather conditions and the lack of supplies that morning, they had to improvise. The defense is also questioning Sergeant Lang about why he never notified his supervisors about how he knew Albert personally, and that was the morning he was investigating, and why also he didn't go into the house initially.
So if I were to ask you one more time, I know you never made it past the foyer. Did you ever investigate the foyer area or any other part of the house for evidence of a fight?
The only area I was able to observe at that point, everything appeared to be in order.
But you didn't search the rest of the house for a fight, Lieutenant. That's all I'm asking.
No, I wouldn't have had probable cause to do so.
Like other witnesses we've heard from, Sergeant Lang was one of the first on the scene, and it appears right now that someone new has taken the stand, so we'll have the updates on that when I get back.
Yeah, and listening to your sound, that was a good cut because it illustrates what the defense is trying to say here is that Reed, in their opinion and their belief, did not hit John O'Keefe with her SUV, that something happened inside that house. This is what the defense is saying, that there was a fight in the house and that led to Mr. O'Keefe's death. Again, that's the defense perspective. The prosecution says she did it and she is on trial for second-degree murder. All right, thank you, Emma. We'll have more coming up. And a fall from grace for a former East Hampton firefighter named Nicholas Tillman. He's going to prison for 8 months after admitting he put in secret cameras to record women at the fire department's women's locker room. They also found a collection of photos of women. How happy are you at work?
No complaints here, I promise. Now stay with me, though. I'm going to walk you through this story. A new survey does find that we have the highest job satisfaction in decades. That's the good news. We got smiles at the office, but let's dig deeper, shall we? Business research group The Conference Board says the difference can be found here in men and women on the job. The poll finds it's tough making us content in all of the more than 24 on-the-job metrics. Those metrics include the standards. Pay to work-life balance is a big one. The largest discrepancies between men and women come in salary, benefits, and bonuses. It's all about the money, folks. I guess. Drew Mulholland, WBZ News Radio.
And a new government report shows entitlement programs in this nation may run out in less than a decade. Unless Congress acts, here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
This is a sobering new government report for the 70 million Americans who rely on Social Security. The Social Security trust funds are now set to be depleted by the year 2035. At that point, the government would have to start cutting benefits that are critical to so many retirees and disabled Americans. Medicare is set to be depleted a year later in 2036. More than 67 million older Americans rely on Medicare for their health insurance.
Americans are breaking the bank for mom this Sunday. A new report shows us the bottom line.
While it will be a tad less than last year, Americans are expected to spend $33.5 billion this Mother's Day, according to the National Retail Federation. That is $254 per person. It breaks down to $7 billion spent on jewelry, about $6 billion on special outings like brunch, followed by electronics, flowers, and the list goes on. The highest spenders, those between 35 and 44 years old. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Looking for a good read? Let's get a read from CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Oprah unveiled her newest book club selection on CBS Mornings.
Step over this way, please. Get out of the line.
Long Island is a sequel to Colm Tobin's 2009 bestseller Brooklyn, which was made into a hit movie. It picks up the story of a young woman named Ailish Lacey, who left her small Irish town for a new life in America.
Would you dance for me?
25 years later, she and Tony, a plumber, are married with 2 teenagers when someone knocks on the door.
He says, your husband has gotten my wife pregnant.
Says Tobin.
The whole point is that who knows what when.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Next.
Oh, it's never going to be the same.
Massachusetts is heating up. Is it too fast?
If you're not following us on TikTok, you're missing Boston Magazine's best social media personality.
Boston Public Library is a good place to relax, especially in Bates.
New England Emmy nominated.
Oh, you thought I was done with Brockton?
And Murrow Award winner for innovation.
From the mechanical horse in front of Market Basket, Matt Shearer.
Great stories, great fun. Follow us on TikTok at WBZ News Radio.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
This is Dan Ray here with Dr. Sal. New Arch by Dr. Sal isn't just about dental implants, it's about reclaiming your life.
People ask me, what makes you confident about the result? I have an obligation. People trust me with their health. I'm not going to rest until they're satisfied.
Dr. Sal, tell us about your groundbreaking approach that helps your patients rediscover their well-being.
I see this as an art. You have to look at the patient as a whole. You have to meet with them. You have to see their smile. You have to see how they speak. You got to feel their emotions. And that's how the process starts. You're treating a person. And then you'll look at the technical information, the data, the x-rays, and everything that's necessary. And then you craft the best possible way to treat this person.
Transform your life with New Arch by Dr. Sal Dental Implant Center. For a complimentary consultation, call 508-881-1290 or visit drsalimplants.com. That's DRSAL implants.com.
You're right at 12:53, and it's with Kevin Brennan and Company, the Subaru retailers of New England. All-wheel drive traffic on the threes. You got a lot of campers. Where are they geared towards right now?
Well, we continue to watch delays here up in that Saugus stretch of Route 1 northbound. Now, you can make it off the Chelsea area and all the way up past Walnut Street in Saugus, and then you've got your slowdown soon after that, all the way up through the Linfield Tunnel to the left lane work crews here at the jug handle lights in Peabody. You're going to have to stay to the right to get around that. Not too bad over on 93, especially northbound Medford, getting up into Stoneham and beyond. And that upper end of 128 looking pretty good here from Waltham, getting up to Wakefield. Now downtown, the River Roads, airport tunnels, all in good shape. That lever connector's quite busy both directions next to the Zachem Bridge. Southbound Expressway, that's a slow go now from Mass Avenue, getting down through that Savin Hill stretch. More brake lights here down at the Braintree Split. Northbound Expressway hung up just a bit here at Columbia Road. Now, Route 3, 24, 95, all in good shape right now, as is the Mass Pike between Boston and 495. This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale is here. Save up to $500 on select adjustable bed sets like the all-new Temper Adapt collection with advanced pressure relief to help reduce aches and pains. Plus, get a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Hurry into Mattress Firm today. Kevin Brennan, WBZ's Traffic on the Threes.
We just hit 77 degrees in Worcester right now with sunshine. How about that? It's been a while. AccuWeather now with Matt Benz.
Mostly sunny for this afternoon and pleasantly warm. A high around 70 degrees in Boston, upper 70s, inland 60s on the Cape and Islands. Clouds will thicken up for tonight with a low near 50. Tomorrow, cloudy, cooler once again. Periods of rain early on, followed by some showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, high around 60. Cloudy and cool again for Thursday. Another round of rain arriving in the afternoon that will stick around through Thursday night. High again near 60 here in the city, mid-60s inland. Chillier and cloudy into Friday, intermittent rain and drizzle, highs from 50 to 56. AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Benz, WBZ, Boston News Radio.
In the low 60s on the South Shore, Plymouth 63. That's our cooler spot. Downtown Boston, 67 and sunny.
How do you dispose of cigarettes?
There's part of plants.
Fertilizer and dried plant roots can catch fire.
Off the porch?
Cigarettes tossed into mulch and grass have started many fires.
Bucket of sand?
Perfect. Remember, put it out all the way, every time. To learn more, go to mass.gov/DFS.
Today's warm weather may feel like a treat, but a new report reads between the lines because Massachusetts is heating up fast. WBZ's Chris Fama has more.
Forecasted highs today are expected to be in or near the 70s. Tomorrow, back down into the 50s.
It was never like that. It turned warmer gradually and it turned colder gradually.
Progressive warmth on a larger scale than he suggests is real, according to a new study, which finds the average temperature in Massachusetts has risen over the last 50-plus years by 3.5 degrees on average. Science schmience, right?
I think it's getting overblown.
But those numbers he poo-poos. The findings of this particular analysis say the Bay State is heating up, third most of any state in the U.S.
Well, I'm concerned about them. My grandchildren.
Concerned the world they're going to inherit isn't quite the same the world you.
Oh, it's never going to be the same.
Chris Fama, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Coming up, it's getting pretty intense in a courtroom in Dedham right now and another courtroom in New York. We've got dueling trials, both of those coming up next at 1 o'clock. Donald Trump, Karen Reed, in the news next.
If you have old or unwanted guns in your home, New England Ballistic Services will buy them from you. Call them at 855 Gun Buys. That's 855-GUN, BUYS.
Hi, this is Steve Andrus. Make your sump pump happy by calling 1-844-433-5225, sumppumpgeeks.com.
Aware Recovery Care provides a long-lasting solution for those suffering from addiction to drugs and or alcohol. Working with you in your home, in your comfort zone, and on your schedule. By offering addiction support in the home, we help individuals develop the skills and daily habits crucial for staying sober, all while staying connected with loved ones and the community. Let us help you recover where you live. To learn more, visit awarerecoverycare.com. That's awarerecoverycare.com.
A recent report from LawDepot.com says that only 3 out of every 10 adults in the U.S. have taken the time to create an estate plan. Don't be a member of that group. Hi, this is Mike Armstrong from the Armstrong Advisory Group. A sound estate plan can give you control over your assets and peace of mind as you enter your retirement years. Our new guide is called Leaving a Financial Legacy, and in it, we look at estate planning from a financial perspective. It's important to have a strategy that addresses your investment portfolio and all of your holdings, including real estate. We'll also focus on other issues, such as how to manage long-term care expenses that may affect you down the road. Get your guide today by calling 800-393-4001. That number again is 800-393-4001, or you can also request the guide online at armstrongadvisory.com.
The proceeding was paid for by Armstrong Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. Nothing in the ad or in any Armstrong guide is specific financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult your own financial, tax, and estate planning advisors before making any investment decisions. Armstrong may contact you to offer investment advisory services.
Save $1,500 this month on the ultimate paint job. I'm Matt.
I'm Pat. We own Rhino Shield of New England, America's leading permanent paint brand.
Rhino Shield ceramic coating is far more durable than a traditional paint job. The proof is the radio test.
A radio test?
Yes, we've been on the radio for over a decade. That means Rhino Shield has been on homes in New England just as long. And today, that first house we painted looks just as good as the last.
You're right. The only way to stay on the radio is to deliver your promise. And Rhino Shield promises the ultimate paint job.
Delivering on our promise is why Rhino Shield has been rated A+ by the BBB for over a decade.
And the best evidence are years of durable results on thousands of homes across America.
If you keep painting your house year after year, this time call Rhino Shield and get the ultimate paint job.
And get our summer special. Schedule your job before June 30th and save $1,500.
Call 888-90-RHINO today.
888-90-RHINO. Rhino Shield. Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a pretty big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 full years, plus bonus savings when you schedule a consultation today. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
WBZ Boston, WXKS-FM HD2 Bedford, an iHeart radio station. This is WBZ, Boston's news radio, redefining local news.
Almost 70 in Boston, 77 are high with mostly sunny skies. This fine weather is going to change tonight, and we'll tell you all about that coming up with traffic and weather together. I'm Lori Kirby, and court is about to wrap up for the day in the Karen Reed murder trial in Dedham. We're hearing testimony from Canton Police Lieutenant Charles Ray. Now, he was called up by the prosecution just about 15 minutes ago, but because it is a half day, which was planned, it's unlikely the defense will begin cross-examination today. And the bulk of today's testimony has been from Canton Police Sergeant Michael Lank. And he was questioned about the unconventional methods police used to collect evidence from the scene where Boston police officer John O'Keefe's body was found in Canton. If you'll remember, officers used a leaf blower to clear away the snow that was falling and red Solo cups to scoop blood-covered snow. WBC's Emma Friedman has been monitoring. She'll join us coming up next at 1:15. Speaking at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum, President Biden addresses the problem of anti-Semitism in the United States. The president says there's no place for it, and he's using the full force of the federal government to protect Jewish communities. The president also reiterated his ironclad support for Israel.
My commitment to the safety of the Jewish people, the security of Israel, and its right to exist as an independent Jewish state is ironclad, even when we disagree.
The president's comments come as college campuses across the nation and here in Boston are seeing massive demonstrations against the war in Gaza. And one of the things that President Biden has disagreed with Israel over its military action is actually what's happening in the southern Gaza city of Rafah right now. The president has been telling Israel, don't go through with the invasion, but the IDF moved in some tanks last night. Humanitarian groups warn this could spell disaster for civilians trapped in that border city. And CBS's Cammie McCormick has more.
Israel has shut down 2 vital border crossings at Rafah and Kerem Shalom.
So that means that currently the 2 main arteries for getting aid into Gaza is currently choked off. Indeed, this morning is one of the darkest in this 7-month-long nightmare.
The UN's Jens Lerke.
If no fuel comes in for a prolonged period of time, it would be a very effective way of putting the humanitarian operation in its grave.
1 million people are sheltering in Rafah.
The military action is straining the ongoing ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas. And of course, yesterday, Hamas said they agreed to it, and then Israel said no. The deal did not meet its core demands. Coming up, the state announces new details on the Sumner Tunnel closure this summer. Which brings me to your ride right now at 103. The Subaru Retailers of New England, all-wheel drive, traffic on the threes. Kevin Brennan, no closures, I hope, right now.
No, not right now, but we're dealing with a couple little situations here up in Peabody. Route 1 northbound. Sounds like that left lane work crew possibly in the process of picking up right now, so that's good news. You got delays almost back to Walnut Street here in Saugus. Downtown Boston, looking good on the lower deck, Sachem Bridge at 93 southbound. Got some slowdowns, though, quite heavily on that levered down ramp all the way down to Sturrow Drive. The River Roads airport tunnels are in pretty decent shape. Southbound Expressway, you've got your slowdowns quite heavily here from Mass Avenue, getting most of the way down through Savin Hill. Down on Route 3, northbound side of Route 3 here, right at Exit 3, Herring Pond Road. We've got police activity taking the right lane here, leaving just that left lane to get by. So you got some slowdowns getting behind that. You got about a half a mile back up. Looking pretty good over on 24, 95, and the Mass Pike's looking good as well between that Newton stretch and Westboro. Kevin Brennan, WBZ's Traffic on the Threes.
Okay, this is one of those days where you look longingly outside of the workplace window. We're seeing 77, 76 out there, especially in the interior sections of the Commonwealth. We're a little bit cooler, as I've been mentioning, along the coast, but still nice. Cape Cod, Boston, we're all pretty much in the mid-60 range with some nice sun. We cloud up tonight. We're, pardon me, heading for a low of 50, and then we're in for a little bit of a rainy stretch tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And by the way, tomorrow, keep in mind we do have a chance of some unsettled weather with thunderstorms in the afternoon, so you want to be listening there. It's 1:05. We got our snapshot. New details about the summer's planned shutdown of the Sumner Tunnel. WBZ's Mike Macklin fills us in.
Last year, the Sumner Tunnel got a new ceiling. This year, it gets a new driving surface. The tunnel will be shut down 24/7 from July 5th to August 5th, with weekend closures continuing from August through November. State Transportation Secretary Monica Tibbetts-Nutt says the project will no doubt test the patience of everyone, from commuters to East Boston residents.
Please be patient. We are doing this as quickly as we can. As the administrator said, we are very cognizant of the disruptions that this caused, and then the same with the MBTA. We're providing as many options as possible.
The Sumner shutdown will have a major impact on travel to and from Logan Airport. Travelers are urged to allow extra time to get to Logan. Mike Macklin, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Former President Donald Trump's criminal hush money trial is now on lunch break. They're set to resume at 2 o'clock. On the stand today, the person at the very center of this case, former adult film star Stormy Daniels. Let's get more.
This is a special report from ABC News, the Trump trial. I'm Derek Dennis. Too much information. That may be the takeaway from the sometimes graphic, oversharing testimony of porn star Stormy Daniels, the star witness in the continuing hush money trial of former President Trump in New York City. On the stand, she detailed what she claims was a sexual encounter with Trump before the 2016 election, recalling Trump in his underwear, that he did not use protection in their encounter, and talk of her appearing on The Apprentice afterwards, which never materialized. All of it too much for the judge.
Judge Merchan had encouraged prosecutors to take the foot off the gas. Not that much detail is necessary here because this is not the crime. The money is the crime that he's been charged for, the 34 criminal counts. But now this is where these details both personally are humiliating, but obviously could be politically damaging.
ABC's John Santucci, the crux of the case, whether Trump falsified business records. This is ABC News.
We'll continue bringing you updates from that courtroom and, of course, the Courtroom in Dedham. We have another live report with Emma Friedman on the Karen Reed trial coming up at just about 1:15. And yet another U.S. citizen is now being detained in Russia, arrested there. U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Gordon Black is accused of stealing from his girlfriend in Russia. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gerskovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan are still enduring Russian detentions of their own. And a popular but controversial social media app is now suing the federal government. Tom Busby, imagine the legal bills.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, the issue here is national security versus First Amendment rights to free speech. TikTok and its Chinese owner called ByteDance filing a lawsuit today challenging the constitutionality of a new U.S. law requiring either a sale of TikTok to a U.S. company, deadline on that is January, or face being banned on U.S. app stores. So this could go on for some time. Wall Street hanging on to very modest gains today, even though shares of Disney are getting pummeled down 10% after a disappointing earnings report and outlook. Right now, though, the Dow up 62 points, NASDAQ up 27, the S&P up 13. And thanks to a new sponsorship deal, college football's annual Arizona Bowl, that happens in December, will officially be known as, get ready, Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. That's the official name. Hi, Tom Bus. That's a mouthful.
It's going to ring.
It's unbelievable. A Bloomberg Business on WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Looks like the Karen Reed trial is winding down for the day. We'll have the very latest on witness testimony thus far coming up after this.
Our stories come alive on social media. Local news from local reporters. Follow WBZ News Radio on Instagram and TikTok at WBZ News Radio.
Save $1,500 this month on the ultimate paint job. I'm Matt.
I'm Pat. We own Rhino Shield of New England, America's leading permanent paint brand.
Rhino Shield ceramic coating is far more durable than a traditional paint job. The proof is the radio test.
A radio test?
Yes, we've been on the radio for over a decade. That means Rhino Shield has been on homes in New England just as long. And today, that first house we painted looks just as good as the last.
You're right. The only way to stay on the radio is to deliver your promise. And Rhino Shield promises the ultimate paint job.
Delivering on our promise is why Rhino Shield has been rated A+ by the BBB for over a decade.
But again, the best evidence are years of durable results on thousands of homes across America.
If you keep painting your house year after year, this time call Rhino Shield and get the ultimate paint job.
And get our summer special. Schedule your job before June 30th and save $1,500.
Call 888-90-RHINO today.
888-90-RHINO. Rhino Shield. Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use, about travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Something amazing is happening in animation. Studios are processing data faster. That's because CDW showed them new ways to maximize their infrastructure, then built a flexible Dell Technologies data solution. More automation led to reduced maintenance times and greater efficiency, so that creativity stays the star of the show. Dell Technologies and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Data Center.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Burton's Grill and Bar offers boldly crafted American classics like crab-crusted haddock, superfood salad, and their signature Max Burger piled high with onion strings and all the fixings. Plus, they accommodate food allergies and offer a gluten-free menu. Restaurant Nirvana. Burton'sGrill.com.
Sports now on WBZ News Radio.
It's been the talk of this town and Tinseltown for days, even the Big Apple, the roast of Tom Brady. How exactly did it all come together? Roastmaster General Jeff Ross tells folks on The Rich Eisen Show.
He loves the roast. He's a student of the roast. Mm-hmm. And it was something I asked of him after he won the last Super Bowl. I knew he was a roast fan, and he was into it right away. And then we made a deal, and then he unretired, and I held it back. And I think it was worth the wait.
Plenty of big names and lots of huge laughs. But who in Ross's mind stole the show?
Coach Belichick. I got to give him credit. And I gave him my theme music. I normally come out to the Imperial March, the Darth Vader theme.
Chris Fama, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
Traffic on the 3s at 113 with Kevin and company. The Subaru retailers of New England all-wheel drive. Traffic on the 3s. Any new problems?
Well, we're watching a situation here. Police activity down in the Plymouth stretch of Route 3 northbound. Sounds like they may have the right lane blocked here, right by Herring Pond Road or just prior to it. That's exit 3 here on Route 3 northbound. So watch out for delays there. You got about a half a mile or so back up approaching that scene. After that, though, you're back up to speed and looking pretty good all the way up into Braintree. Northbound expressway, just a minor tap of the brakes here at Columbia Road. Southbounds, though, that's quite heavy already here, just outside the Tip O'Neill Tunnel. Slow roll down through Savin Hill. Beyond that, not too bad down to the Braintree split. Mass Pike, free and clear. Boston getting out through 95 and 495. You got slowdowns here in Leominster. It's Route 190 northbound. You got almost a mile back up approaching the work crews after Route 117. Route 2's okay in either direction, and up on Route 1 northbound, residual delays getting up through the Linfield Tunnel. That left lane work crew in the process of picking up here at the Jug Handle Lights. This report sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, injury law firm. At Morgan & Morgan, they recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. They took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan, visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Kevin Brennan, WBZ's Traffic on the 3s.
Beautiful. Are you out on your T-shirt, flip-flops? You can be. It's that nice out. 77 degrees in the city of Worcester. A little bit cooler, about 10 degrees cooler in Boston, but still incredibly mild and clear. So 2 days in a row, and then tonight it starts. The clouds move in, bringing a system that's going to bring some thunderstorms, showers, and rain for the next several days. Certainly the shower activity. The thunderstorm activity, maybe not, but certainly tomorrow afternoon. So you want to be listening. And we'll have a lot more on the forecast with Matt Benz at 124. Good Tuesday.
Live, local, and fiercely independent. This is WBZ News Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Laurie Kirby. Here are the 5 things you need to know at 1:15. Red Solo cops come back into play in the courtroom of the Karen Reed trial. They're questioning how officers handled evidence at the scene of John O'Keefe's death. We'll go back live to Emma Friedman in just a moment here. She's been monitoring and joining me throughout the duration of this trial. And the New York trial, our star witness is on the stand today, Stormy Daniels, testifying that the former president, Donald Trump, and Michael Cohen offered her $130,000 in hush money. TikTok's parent company sues the U.S. government over its potential ban on the app. This is breaking news. We'll have a lot more on that coming up as well. And pro-Palestinian demonstrators at the Rhode Island School of Design are holed up still this hour inside of a class building. All right, court adjourned for the day, just wrapping up in Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham, where jurors have been hearing more testimony, Emma, in the Karen Reed murder trial. Bring us up to date.
Laurie, Canton Police Lieutenant Charles Ray was called up to the stand as the last witness of the day. He was there the morning that John O'Keefe was found at another police officer's home outside. Lieutenant Ray also did a wellness check that morning.
And at some point over the course of that morning, did you become aware of any children that Mr. O'Keefe was responsible for as far as the legal guardianship?
Yes, I was made aware that he was the guardian of 2 young children that may or may not be at the house at that time unattended, given the fact that both he and his girlfriend were transported.
Yeah, he was called to do that wellness check at the O'Keefe's home after he learned that both John O'Keefe and Karen Reed had been transported to the hospital that morning. Remember, Karen Reed was hysterical and they were concerned that she was going to harm herself. That was the last that we heard from Lieutenant Charles Ray, but court is expecting to, be back in session tomorrow, and we will be hearing more about the case and what happened that morning.
Yeah, and this is not a surprise. We knew this would be a half day, so
yes.
This is not some unexpected event. This is just the way the court calendar goes. Emma, thank you. She'll be back with me tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And again, if you're keened into this trial, like so many of you are, we're also streaming our broadcast on the iHeartRadio app, and this could take 6 to 8 weeks, everybody. This is going to be a duration trial before we have some kind of verdict. The charge, second-degree murder. So we'll continue here. In other news, the school blocked off their tents, the encampment, and they called in police, but pro-Palestinian demonstrators at MIT are forging ahead with their protest anyway. WBZ's James Rojas is there and says some students have now launched counter-protests.
There's a sense of euphoria and accomplishment for the pro-Palestinian protesters after the removal of fences set up by MIT and the retaking of the encampments.
And I think yesterday the MIT community and the wider community, the whole community, really showed that.
But not everyone feels the same. MIT student Marilyn Myers is planting 1,200 Israeli flags in the grass nearby to honor the lives lost on October 7th.
We're trying to show that Israelis are human also, and show what we're fighting for the hostages, to bring them home, and kind of show also how peaceful we are, and kind of contrast that with the anarchy that's going on in the encampment.
She believes MIT has lost all hold over campus. At MIT, James Rojas, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
MIT will no longer ask potential hires for diversity statements. Now, the screening practice had been denounced by conservatives and free speech advocates for quite some time because the critics feel it forces an ideological conformity. House Republicans have been looking into MIT and other college campuses on the heels of the rising campus tensions over the Gaza war. MIT's equity office remains intact. Wellesley says its crosswalks are due for a makeover. WBZ's Jim McKay went for a walk in Wellesley.
First glance, it doesn't look too bad on the corner of Church and Washington, but after a long winter, you'll feel it as you drive.
This time of year because it is so rough.
Robert lives in this neighborhood, and he's on board with a plan to rebuild and redesign some crosswalks like this one in Wellesley, especially this time of year.
It's always bad in the spring.
Nicole walks to work every day in the neighborhood she sees and hears the problem on a daily basis.
I just witness other drivers